Hey, what's up, everybody? Hunter Orrell here. I'm back in Maryland after a trip over to the UK. It's nice to be back in the United States and see some family, but I'm looking forward to getting back to Crawley in about 10 days. I wanted to just do a little reflection video. I tried recording this after the Doncaster game at the train station, but I think emotionally, mentally, and physically just exhausted, and nothing that I said really made sense in that video, but I wanted to give it some time to gather myself, and then just kind of speak and share some thoughts and where I'm at, and hopefully open up a little bit more of a narrative between myself, the ownership group, and then everybody who supports Crawley Town. I think I'll try to cover this in like 3 parts. 1, just overall performance. 2, Doncaster. 3, what's happening as far as like how the club is represented, Simon, PR, marketing, etc. And then if anything else comes up, we can go from there. But, I think, to be just blunt and start this off, the performance that we have had on the table and on a weekly basis is unacceptable. We're not happy with it. I'm not happy with it. Kevin's not happy with it. Preston, nobody in the ownership group is happy with it. And obviously, most importantly, the supporters of fans are not happy with where we stand right now. And I know, hopefully I mentioned this, the players are also not happy with where they stand, right? It's hard. We've put a ton of effort, resources, and I know everybody else involved has put time and effort into performing and providing the results that we not only think we deserve, but we want. And to see where we stand in the table currently, to see what our expected goals this season are, really raises the concerns of us really just not performing at all to where we should be, especially with such a talented group of players and experienced staff that's doing their best to make sure that players are prepped and ready and have the right mentality when they go out there during the game. But it's very clear that right now where we stand is not where we want to be, and it's hard. It really does affect us. I think part of this is making sure that you all understand that I don't take this lightly. Nobody takes this lightly. This isn't a joke. This isn't a toy. This isn't just something on the side. Like, every morning I wake up and the first thing that I think about is Crawley Town. What are they doing today? How is everybody? How are players' injuries progressing? What is going on with the team? It truly runs through my blood and through my veins, and it's going to be something that is part of me until the day I die. A lot of fans tell me about how they've been going to games for 40 years and that this is something that their kids will do, and it's just part of who they are. I am right there with you. I know Preston and Eben are right there with you too. This club means the world to us. So it's been, on top of that frustration and on top of us not being satisfied, I think it's been equally hard for us to watch the results every week. It's definitely been emotional, and I think a lot of people share their personal opinions and go on social media, and I think they're loud about their feelings because there might be some concern that we don't share them, and I hope that's not a confusion, that we do share those same thoughts and feelings and emotion that you guys do. Doncaster was a really, really hard game to watch. I think there were some unfortunate calls by the ref, and the turning of the tides obviously can be pinpointed down to a certain moment in the game. But also watching, I think, the players come out down and not seeing that same, like that viciousness to win and that will to win, and doesn't matter what the score is, fighting for that goal and fighting to win another point back. It's hard. I think the boys are feeling the frustration as well in the locker room. I think they want the results. They're not happy with it. And I think it takes a lot out of them watching those efforts that they have the whole week leading up to it kind of vanish away. But I do think that, as an ownership group, Kevin as well, the whole administration expects for us to go out and leave everything on the field 100% effort, 100% of the game, and that it's truly a privilege and an honor to be involved with this club and represent the Crawley Town badge. The things that I saw and watched from the stands in Doncaster, I think fans sharing what they thought and what they wanted and how they were unhappy with where we stood has been heard. And really, there's nothing really I can say other than we want to win, and we think that more needs to be done and that changes need to be made. Obviously Stevenage coming up in a few days, and we're really in need of a win here, and we have to. But certainly when the boys go out, there needs to be that aggression, that will to win, and really just leaving it all on the field, because that game means, I think, a lot where we stand this far into the season, especially points-wise. Overall, I think there's also question around what are we doing as an ownership group and what is the club doing to represent the name of Crawley Town Football Club. The Simon announcement, I think, getting some attention globally, but also getting some reactions that frowned upon that decision. I think we understand that people don't want their club to be seen as doing things that are dumb or making the club look dumb. At the same time, I think personally and from my ownership level, we want the club to be seen by as many people across the world as possible, and for the club to be thinking outside the box in terms of marketing and exposure globally. And that requires making some decisions that haven't been done before or are unheard of, or maybe don't make the most sense traditionally for a football club to be doing. That being said, I think that working with brands, working with individuals that know how to bring exposure to themselves and change the way, change who's looking at the club is beneficial. I know Preston has shared this, but we've had large brands, large global brands that everybody's heard of, everybody uses, reach out to us after our announcements. It's put us in a position to not only bring in more sponsorship dollars, but to bring in more eyes, more infrastructure to what the club's doing, and that's beneficial. Going forward, obviously, we want everybody who's supporting the club to understand that we're doing things not to just have fun and to work with cool people. I think we're being very intentional with who we work with and how we work with them and how we position the club to be in front of as many people's eyes as possible. But foremost and forefront, across everything, winning has to come first, right? Decisions like sidemen or decisions to sponsor, work with another partner, cannot happen if they are causing detriment to our ability to win. And we understand that, and we understood that, I think, even before the announcement happened, before people's opinions were shared online. We certainly understand that winning comes first and it's a priority. And the only way that we as a club are successful is if we are finishing well every Saturday and every Tuesday, and making sure that, at the end of the season, we're in position for playoffs and we're pushing the club to find higher levels of play, obviously into League One and higher. which is our intended goal. No, I know this video probably is restating a lot of things that people have heard me personally say, but I really just want to drive home as briefly as possible just some thoughts and cover where I think we stand. You know, there's a lot happening right now, right? There's and yeah, I mean, we want the best for the club. We want everybody to show up Saturday wearing your red, making as much noise as possible, being as proud as possible, being as excited as possible to be a Crawley Town fan and to be from Crawley Town and to be in that stadium. And you know, I just hopefully this drives home the point that, you know, we know every single one of you, when you show up, you know, you deserve to have the best team out there, and that, you know, we want you to feel pride and excited to represent Crawley Town and to be chanting "Come on, you Reds!" And when you walk into a bar, when you say, "Oh, I support Crawley Town," for everybody to be like, "Oh, I love them." But you know, we're at a point in the season where I think there's a lot of emotions across the board in every single department, from fan to ownership group, and you know, I just don't want there to be a lack of narrative and communication across the board. So, you know, if you have questions, comments, you want to reach out and chat, we're always here. I'm always here. I know Preston's here. And, you know, we'll see you guys at games. I'll be there in Crawley from October 18th till November 18th, with the possibility of that trip being extended another 2 to 3 weeks. Just depends on a few things. And I know Preston, Evan, and a lot of the other owners will be out and about in Crawley throughout the rest of the year as travel and health permits. You know, I'm excited. Hopefully there's no confusion on that frustration leading to regret. If I could go back and make this decision again to be involved with Crawley Town and make an investment into them, I think the only thing I would change is, you know, doing it quicker, sooner, bigger, because there's nothing more. I don't get any more enjoyment out of anything else than walking into the stadium and seeing fans and getting to meet people and being associated with this club, because there's such a long history. There's just so much to be proud of to be involved with this club from my standpoint. If you have anything else, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, let me know. You know, please make them constructive and not just, you know, angry mob comments. It helps. We read them and we want to understand where everybody stands and why you stand that way and what you think. But yeah, this hopefully this is a little bit more constructive than my Doncaster video. So thank you everybody for watching. I'm gonna go upload this and get it out, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys end of October, beginning of November. I'll see you all at Burnley. I'll be bundled up in some Stone Island, hopefully, and I'm looking forward to having a beer at Reds with everybody and making some noise in the stadium. So I'll catch you all soon. Looking forward to it. Peace.